the like image that comes to my mind when I think Pilates is like someone laying down on like the thing with their legs on the thing that slides up and down. So
Yep.
does all Pilates involve equipment? And is that like a
Nope.
main differentiation between that and like let's say yoga, or is some of it just body movements, or is it like heavily equipment focused? What's going on there?
That's a super good question. So it can be. So that kind of break in 1999, the first kind of thing that was spread wide open, I would say, was actually mat classes. So in every little gym, everywhere for a while, you could find a Pilates mat class. So that is going to look more like a yoga, where sometimes there's props, but usually not, and you're on the floor. You might be doing some standing work, but it's going to look more like a yoga class in its structure. Like you have a mat on the floor, you're engaging with your body weight, and that's kind of that. And so how those yoga and Pilates kind of differentiate from one another on an anatomical level. The focus of yoga is mobility at your joint. The focus of Pilates is stability at the joint. So in yoga, it's more of an opening concept. In Pilates, it's more of a strengthening concept. And then in the mat work, really the focus is going to be abdominals. And so that's the other way that I would kind of describe that difference. In Pilates, the core is king. In yoga, the feet typically are the king. So it's kind of like, where is the base of your body? And in Pilates, I can't help myself when I tell my clients, I'm like, I just, no matter how many trainings I do, like the core bias that I have is strong. So I think that, you're standing, you're sitting, everything ends up passing through the core. So if we have no core strength, something's got to give. Like you're going to end up in your shoulders hunched forward, or you're going to end up with pain somewhere else in your body because it has to kind of go somewhere else.
Interesting.
Typically, if you go into, and not every style of yoga is like this, but typically if you go into yoga, there's a lot more focus on planting the feet on the ground, and kind of that's the root structure. So it's a philosophical difference there as well. So I will tend to bias towards abs, and I can't help myself. And I fully tell my clients, I'm like, this is my base training from which everything else is built. So, and I don't ever get clients that are like, I don't want to work on my core. so it kind of works out, but so although both schools of work now have a lot of exercises, there are philosophy differences in what makes a Pilates exercise. It's going to be strengthening your joints. It's really focused on what's happening at the joints. It's not as focused on kind of the big movement, big muscles that move you. It's going to be the ones that are found around your joints, and that includes your spine.
Very interesting. The kind of center out versus the bottom up approach. If you enjoyed this clip, you'll love the full conversation I had with Janis, where we talk a whole lot more about Pilates, what it is, what it isn't, where it came from, and what it actually means to attend a Pilates practitioner. It's a great conversation, so click the link in the description to check it out.